Get your snack.
Hell yeah.
This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out. Well, good evening, everybody. It's your boy Jay McLovin here with Big Glenn and Tony. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing fantastic, man.
Phenomenal. Let's see. I've had my nerds. I've had my cigar. I've had my CBD gummies. Wink, wink. And I've had a little bit of whiskey. So it's been a pretty good day after the afternoon show. So that was my diet for today, Tony. And I did have a couple of Taco Bell burritos just for nutritional value. So that's how my day went. So I'm hoping everybody had a great day like that as well. All right, let's talk about it. 87-49. That is the record of the team that scores first in a game, in a win-it-take-all type of game. Seattle struck first. Detroit evened it up. Now it's 2-1. What are you thinking? We'll start top and we'll go to the bottom. Big Glenn, what do you think, man? Seattle scored first. It's in their favor according to the stat book. Right now we're at bottom of the seventh. Mariners are up. Man on first, 1 out, 2-2 to Edward Suarez. What do you think?
Well, I think this is going to be a tight game, but I think the score is going to stay the same the rest of this game. So we're going to have to put another 1 to that 47 and make that a 48.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Tony? I don't know if neither team pounded the ball. That's for sure. Pitchers have pitched real good so far. So I mean, I don't know if I'm hoping they can get a run tied up. Let's get some extra innings. Let's get some drama in this mother. Let's get some drama. These two teams have played each other pretty tough. It's been a pretty good series. Didn't get quite all of it. Hit it to the warning track, but
yep. I think you're a little bit behind me.
Yeah, I probably am.
I'm right. Am I behind you? Big Glenn?
If you're watching it on your on like a tenant or your local TV network or whatever, you're probably with me. I know Tony's got that other stuff, so he might be behind me.
Hey, Tony got that good stuff. All right,
I got the good stuff too, but I have local, so if I can have local to keep up with the time, perfect.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, right? So I told you, the weakness I believe in Seattle is their bullpen. Right, I think the last game where they got lit up like 9-3, the bullpen gave up 7 out of the 9 runs. Right, you go into tonight. Right now, Kirby has out of the game, and so far, Spear did give up 1 of the 2 runs that Detroit has, and right now Brash has not, and he's gone 1.1. So. Right now, the score is 2-1, so they're not lighting it up like they did the other night on bullpen. But the bullpen has given up a run. I gotta tell you, man, bottom of the 7th right now. If I was gonna call this game right now, Screwball's done a good job. He only gave up one. He gave up 1 run, but the guy struck out the side. I want to say it was either the 4th or 5th inning. I mean, he dominated. He struck out the side, no issues. So what are you guys thinking, man? You think Seattle's going to pull it out, or do you think Detroit's going to take it? If you were a betting man,
man, being this late in the game, bottom of the seventh, getting ready to go to the eighth here soon. I'm gonna say Detroit's gonna hang on.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tony on that one. The game flow right now, it's just saying that this game is going to stay this way until Detroit closes it out.
And it's this is a very defensive game. Even for, I got to give Seattle credit, man. I know I was talking about their bullpen, which I still believe their bullpen's garbage. But I'm going to give the bullpen a little bit of credit because, quite honestly, it's been a very low-hitting game. I think 4 hits for Detroit. I want to say it's 3 hits, 3 hits for Seattle, I believe. I mean, we're not talking about a lot of offense here. I got to tell you, though, you know what's really impressed me with Seattle is Josh Naylor. I know Suarez has been, doing good as well, but Josh Naylor, Tony, this guy's IQ, you can see when he's on the base path, his base running IQ is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys saw it when he stole third base, but the way he did and the way he timed it out was amazing. I mean, just really, really good base running on his end of the stick. And I thought his IQ was great. I thought there was one hell of a good pickup. I thought Seattle really did a good job with the 2 pickups that they did with the Suarez and Josh Naylor. I mean, you couldn't ask for better pickups.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Hey, Jay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Jay. This game, you know what this game reminds me of from another league, and it involves our team from a couple of years ago. You remember when we went to San Fran in the divisional round of the playoffs, and the game was like 17-13, and like we were trying to move the ball, but we couldn't move the ball, and you can tell that we couldn't do nothing, and the game was just like a stalemate. That whole fourth quarter. That's what this game feels like. I hate to say it.
It does.
But,
Well, this game reminds me really of the first 2 games. The first 2 games of the series are very similar to this game. And I know at least one of them went extra innings. Maybe both of them. I know one of them definitely did. The first one definitely did. And the second one was a real low-scoring game, too. The pitching's been pretty good in this series for the most part.
Which game was it this week that it went to the bottom of the 11th and somebody gave up a run at the home plate or something? Or am I imagining this shit?
Well, we had a game yesterday.
It may have been yesterday. Who was it that fucked up?
Yeah.
In the bottom of the 11th? Oh, it was a Dodgers game. That's right.
Yeah, you're not supposed to mention that. Philly guy will get upset.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Philly guy.
You right now? Nah, hell with it. Say whatever you want to say. Say whatever you want to say. I'll take the heat. I don't care. This is a day you don't understand, Tony. I've been waiting for this day with Philadelphia for a long ass time. And the fact that today has come and all 3 Philly teams went down in defeat, it doesn't get any better than that. I don't know if I'll ever see this trifecta. So I'm gonna try to make the most of it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jay, if I didn't win this championship in this league, you might have to split that belt in half.
I don't know,
because that's gotta be trade.
Hey, this father-son Gonzalez team seems to be doing pretty good. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, Glenn, and you've had a hell of a good run. Glenn, you've had a good run.
Yeah.
Really, the
belt will probably go back to Indiana, but it ain't going to be.
But I think this is the year of Gonzo or Tony. I don't know which one yet because both of them have really amazing squads. I guess we'll see when Gonzo and Tony go at it, and we'll see who the better one is. But
it'll be a Gonzo wrapped up.
I'm really kind of mad at myself because I should have just had you hold on to the damn belt because if one of them two get it, it'd have been a quick lateral slide over, no big deal. Maybe I should have just left it there.
You know what's funny about that is it will, if it ain't me, it'll probably be a Gonzo, but it won't be Austin, unfortunately.
No, I think you're right. Now, Tony, the caveat is if you or Gonzo wins the belt, y'all got to go to all 3 stadiums. Right, you got to go. Let's see so you're Lucas Oil. You got to go to Cambridge Fieldhouse, and then you got to go to Cincinnati. And I need a picture at all 3 spots.
Well, if I get it, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna be like the professional wrestler Ethan Page, who's a Canadian. He put a Canadian flag on his belt. I'm putting the Mexican flag on my belt. I'm gonna change it and be a Mexican flag on the center
Hell,
of that belt.
that would be a bad idea.
I gotta tell you, the
Hey,
belt is
I ain't gonna
green.
lie. I bought one of the wrestlers' signature and took it to the Royal Rumble, so that way that the legacy would live with the belt in that way. You know, whoever had it.
Hell, hey, if you'd have had a wrestler sign that belt, I wouldn't have been mad at you. That'd have been
Oh,
that'd have been
hey,
hella
if I
fine.
win it again, I
That would have
might.
been epic.
Yeah,
That would've been
I almost
epic.
considered it.
We
With
should-
Flair,
They tied the
baby.
That's
game
all
up,
right.
bro. They tied the game up.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I just saw
Man,
that. I
okay.
just saw Seattle got that one on there. But let me ask you this: if you know this is a winner takes all game, and you know that your bullpen just was dog water not that long ago, if I was Seattle, and I know I'm taking Kirby out because the bullpen did give up the go-ahead run. Obviously now it's tied up, so it's a moot point. But they did give up the go-ahead run. Would you not have maybe brought in one of your starters just to kind of pick up the slack a little bit rather than going to the bullpen?
As a bridge.
Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta ask you guys something. Just seen a dude from Seattle who they tied the game up. He was actually crying. That's how bad he wants them to win. I mean, he was emotional. He was crying because they tied the game up.
You know, I
he
don't blame him. It wasn't
Yeah.
that long ago that the Mariners were going to leave Seattle, and Nintendo stepped in and bought the team and kept them in Seattle. So the fact that they've never been to the World Series and they almost lost their, I'm
You
sure
sure it
they had
wasn't
a lot that
Microsoft and Xbox
yeah.
or something?
Hmm?
Because I know you sure it wasn't Microsoft and Xbox or something?
No, bad boy was Nintendo. You even see it on their sleeves. They wear the Nintendo patch on their sleeves.
Oh shit! I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah, no, actually, Nintendo still has a stake in the Mariners. They still have part or a minority stake in the Mariners.
I did not realize that. I figured Microsoft or Xbox would have, but not Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo's based out of I believe Washington, so that kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. But no, but Tony, let me ask you this, man. Are you surprised that maybe they didn't go with the starter just for a little bit more of a confidence boost rather than going to the bullpen that didn't do so well last time out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They must be confident with, but I mean, it depends. I mean, what they're going to do the next inning. I don't know if this guy's going to come back out. I doubt it. You've got Castillo in there. You've got some guys in there. It'd be interesting to see what the only thing, like I talked about the other day, if you get to the ninth inning and you got the lead, if you got a normal closer, I think I would go with him because
for
he's
sure.
in the pressure situation. Other than that, if the game's tied or something, maybe I go, in the eighth inning now, maybe I'll go with one of my starters. I mean, all hands on deck. I mean,
Yeah.
this is win or go home, or I guess they stay home, but it's you don't go nowhere
Yeah.
else. Let me ask you guys this, and I know you picked Detroit to go to the World. I did originally start of the season. I think you had Detroit, and I forget who else you had, maybe Milwaukee. But start of the season, I had Detroit and the Dodgers at the start of the season. But let me ask you this: the way teams are playing, the way everybody's looking, do you think either one of these teams can handle Toronto?
Let's ask Frankie that.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I think just because of the pitching, I think that Detroit would be the better one.
Okay.
I don't know that they would necessarily beat Toronto's a beast. They're in beast mode right now. That team really is in beast mode, right? But I think if anybody has a good shot at taking them down, I think Detroit is probably the team that would be able to do it, or the most likely be able to do it.
Because honestly, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but Toronto kind of blew that game against the one game that they lost to the Yankees. They should have swept them. And you're up 6-1, 6-0, whatever it was. You should win that game. And I'll give the Yankees credit. They came back, and I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win. But if you're a team and you're up 2-0 and you get up 6-0, you shouldn't 6-1. You shouldn't blow that game.
The ghost from Yankee Stadium's past rose from the ashes for one game at least. So
let me ask you guys a question: how much, if you're the Yankees, and you find out that Toronto's going to give you a bullpen game? How much of a slap in the face is that to them competitively?
Well, I mean, it seems that way. It seems that way on paper. I mean, most times people do bullpen games when they have double hitters and stuff like that, and a lot of times they figure definitely the chances of winning go down. I don't know what the analytics say, but it's definitely going to go down in the bullpen game. And that bullpen kind of dominated the Yankees. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the game plan is the way they had it. I mean, because like Chris said, they had it mapped out. This guy's going to go no more than the first 9 batters. Once we reach to that, he's coming out. And then we're going to go to the next rotation, basically the same thing. He's going to go 6, 9 batters, just depending on who comes up to play. I mean, they had a plan going in, and it worked. I mean, you can't.
So let me ask you this. I agree with you, though. Let me ask you this, Glenn. As I asked Tony the first question, if it was a slap in the face that they went with the bullpen game. So let me give you the follow-up question to that, Glenn. What's worse, to be swept or to be eliminated by a bullpen game? Not only that, but be told to you in advance that it's going to be a bullpen game, so that way you can prepare for the bullpen game. How much of it? Which one's worse, swept or bullpen defeat?
Bullpen defeat, especially in this situation, because the Yankees fans they was excited and stuff, and it was like, yeah, we're probably gonna win, or whatever, and because we know how the Yankees are, the fans and stuff, which is great. They got some of the greatest fans in the world, obviously, but beside the fact, but yeah, they go in there telling them that it's gonna be a bullpen game, then you get your ass kicked,
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're given the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was me, and I'm Aaron Judge or any one of the leaders on that team, and you tell me in advance that you're going to give me a bullpen game, if I'm Aaron Judge, I'm pissed. Not only am I pissed, but I'm going to go out there and embarrass you because you slap me in the face, give me a bullpen game, which means you don't take me seriously enough. So that tells me that I need to go out there and show you just how serious I am. And the fact that they went out there and got beat and couldn't fulfill that.
We've only touched on this a few times, but that might be Boone's Achilles heel, and stuff. So, what's up, Frankie?
I think it's worse to get swept.
Hey, yo.
Frankie, so here, since you came into the conversation a little behind, I'm gonna catch you up super quick. The 2 questions I asked them was, one, is it a slap in the face if you throw a bullpen game in the playoffs and you tell them ahead of time it's going to be a bullpen game? Do you think that's a slap in the face to the Yankees that the way Toronto gave you a bullpen game, even though that they knew they had you on the brink of elimination?
Bro, I thought it was kind of weird, honestly. If you remember last week, I said that. I was like, why the hell are they going into a bullpen game? Like, they just had a bye. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I think when I came in, I heard Glenn say that sometimes it works in your favor. And it does. It does work in your favor. And the reason I say that, and especially it works for Toronto, is because their manager, when he goes to his bullpens, he makes sure that none of his relievers throw more than 20 pitches or just get to about 20 pitches, and then he takes them out. So I get he does that. But when you have a bullpen game and in Toronto's favor and have a manager that does that, it kind of ruins your offense if you're going up against that, because you're constantly going up against different pitchers all game that throws different type of style of pitching and different like mechanics and stuff. And I feel like that's why the Yankees couldn't do what they did with Toronto, because when they started off with who they started off with, the Yankees already played against him multiple times in the playoffs, which is why you've seen Ryan McMahon hit the home run. We were getting some type of hits from Aaron Judge and stuff. But when you start changing your pitchers every inning or every 1.1 innings,
it
confuses the other team. And I think that's what happened with the Yankees. We got confused because they kept changing pitchers, and they haven't had the time to because what the Yankees normally do with starting pitching, it takes them about 3 or 4 innings to finally get hits and record some runs, because they studied and they finally seeing all the pitches that they can throw, that starting pitcher can throw. But when you're going up against a bullpen team or a bullpen game, it's kind of hard when you constantly switch pitchers.
So that leads me to my other question that I asked them. I actually asked this to Glenn. I'll give you the same question since we're talking about your team. Would you have rather been swept with them having a bona fide starter out there, or be swept or not swept? You're not being swept. But so would you rather be swept with the starter at the mound, or would you rather go down with a bullpen game? Which one would be worse, a sweep or getting beat on a bullpen game?
What the hell kind of question is that? Honestly, I would rather lose in a bullpen game because nobody wants to get swept. Nobody likes to get swept. If you get swept, that just means your team sucks. Sorry, Tony. Sorry, Glenn. But if you get swept, that just means your team sucks.
Or in this case, Phoenix Mercury. But yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, I just would never want to get beat with the bullpen game. But that leads me to my point. The reason I was asking that question is it actually leads me to my point. My point tonight was when we talked, because you guys talked about Toronto, and I think Tony asked the question, would you rather see Detroit go against Toronto, or would you rather see Seattle go against Detroit? Seattle go against Toronto, and everybody's going to get a chance to answer this and give you your opinions of it. But what my answer was, I felt like it would be Detroit would be the better matchup against Toronto, because if Toronto is going to take out the Yankees on a bullpen game and do it and announce it's a bullpen game, that means they really 100% have confidence in that bullpen to do it, right? And they also have confidence in their bats, clearly. So then when you get a team like, let's say Seattle comes in, and we all know that Seattle's bullpen is trash. They really are trash. I don't think that if Seattle was to go play Toronto, that they would be able to stand it. I think Seattle could be on the verge of a possible gentleman's sweep or a sweep. I think once they get into that bullpen, that Toronto would just light them the hell up. I think Detroit would have the better chance because I believe more in their bullpen to go toe-to-toe than I do Seattle's bullpen to go toe-to-toe. But the fact that Toronto could get a win over Yankees with just using their bullpen, it's amazing. I get your point on that, by the way, Frank. I understand what you're saying, and there's a lot of validity to that. But, Frankie, the question that was asked by Tony was, who would you rather see go against Toronto, Seattle, or who would have the better chance at Seattle, Detroit, or excuse me, you know what I'm saying? Detroit.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I think Detroit will have a better chance, not just offensively, but like what you said with the pitching. Because if you really look at it right now, if they were to go against each other in the ALCS, game one is going to be Skubal, obviously, versus what's his name? Oh my God, what the hell's his name?
It won't be Skubal, because I think that series starts Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he wouldn't be if they play Sunday and Monday. He's not going to be able to probably pitch till game 3,
which would be Wednesday.
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, yeah, shit. I'll still say Detroit, honestly.
Hey, playing on a day and a half rest.
I was still, which if realistically, you also got to look, because in the ALCS and the championship series in a whole, it adds more players to your roster, and you can add more pitching to your roster. So I don't think we'll see a bullpen game out of Toronto, because in the ALDS they didn't have Max Scherzer or some that other pitcher, to where in the ALCS they can add both of them in there now. Detroit can add more pitchers in. I don't know. I'm going to say Detroit just because I feel like Seattle's going to lose. I understand it's the top of the 8th, 2-2 ball game, but I think Detroit's going to win this tonight.
I think you were thinking of Chris Bassett. He's the one that's actually day-to-day.
Yes, Chris Bassett.
Yeah. I think it's probably going to be Gausman. That's kind of their ace. That's their number. That's their starter, right? And everybody else is kind of behind them. So if Skubal doesn't go, I think Toronto could go one or two ways with that. I think to get off to a quick start, maybe they go with their ace. They don't go with their ace, then I think they go with Bieber and go that route if they want to do that. But, yeah. Glenn, what are you thinking, man? Detroit, what are we looking at here?
I want to see Seattle and Toronto, but I think it's going to be Detroit and Toronto.
Tony?
I think either team's got a chance for different reasons. Like you said, Detroit's got good starting pitching. I don't completely agree with you, Jay, on Seattle. I think Detroit's bullpen is better than Seattle. But I don't think Seattle's bullpen is trash. They had that one real bad game, but game 1 and 2, those games went 2-1, 3-2. So I
Yeah.
mean, they put pretty well. It's 2-1. It's 2-2 now. So I don't think the bullpen's trash. I do agree with you. I think Detroit's got a better pitching staff and probably a better bullpen. But I think Seattle might have better hitters. So I think it's about 50-50 either team having a chance. But right now, the way Toronto looks and the way they handle the Yankees, I think things can change with days of rest. I know, but right now, they wasn't my pick originally to win the World Series. But I think Toronto's going to be tough to beat, especially with the home field.
Let me ask you guys one more question, and then we'll move on to the next topic. When it comes, because I know, by the way, it's 2-2, 2 outs, triple deuce, quadruple deuce, because you got 2 men on for Detroit. So that's interesting that they're all twos. I had a thought. I lost my thought. Don't worry about it. We'll move on to the next topic. Damn, Jay.
Hashtag by the moment.
Man, hey, listen, you laugh, dude, Big Glenn, but Tony knows what I'm thinking, what I'm saying. When you get to our ages, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
I promise.
I'm starting to get a few there myself, man. Even when I was thinking that the Lakers could catch Oklahoma for that last spot at the top back in March.
Just came back to my brain. I noticed in the regular season, and I thought that I didn't notice all the time, but I guess tonight it was really on my brain. So in the regular season, when you go to overtime innings, which is looking like, unless something crazy happens, that there's a possibility we could go into extra innings because right now we're top of the 8th. But in regular season, when you go to extra innings, you're allowed to have, you have the man on second, the ghost runner, and then you go from there. Playoffs, you don't get the ghost runner. You just do it. Would you guys rather have the ghost runner in extra innings just for the speed of the game? Or would you rather have it the way it is where there's no ghost runner?
Old school.
Playoffs, I think it should be no runner.
Yeah, no ghost runner. I like the old school. Grab it out until 6 a.m. if they have to.
Yeah, I just want to get you guys' thoughts on that because it seems like, and rightfully so. I understand Major League Baseball. They're trying to make the game faster and do some things to make the game more interesting to get the younger audiences. But I think we're all kind of the old head mentality where we're like, we like our baseball the way it is. Don't need to change too much to it. So I get you. I don't like the whole ghost runner thing either. But yeah. All right. I think the next thing we'll talk about real quick, and we're just going to touch briefly on it. The WNBA. Most
Ace
likely,
won. They swept and move on.
Okay. I mean, I knew they would.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was already done and if that was a done deal.
It kind of was from the start. I mean, the real series of the playoffs was the Aces and the Fever. That was a freaking movie, except for Game 3.
Yeah.
When they beat us by 12. Even that game was closer than this series was. I mean, shit.
You know what blow? Okay, look. So tonight's score was 97-86. The Mercury did make it a little bit closer. I don't know if that was just because of garbage time, whatever, because I wasn't watching that game. But they did close it down, and I think they got up by
they got to 9, and that was about
11 points. So
they got to 9, that was about it.
But let me ask you, Aja Wilson, she got 31 points tonight. She was the big dog. Aja Wilson has been a good player in this league for a long period. Like a lot of other players that have come and been around for a long period of time. Why is it that Caitlin Clark? Why did it take Caitlin Clark? Or what is it about Caitlin Clark that got her so much, so much fame and the face of the W? Why is it her that's got the face and not somebody like Aja Wilson, which we know Aja Wilson has been good for a long time, or a Taurasi or Lisa Leslie or whoever else you want to pull out? Why is it just the times that we're in? Her timing was just right for her to be the face of the NBA?
I can answer that to you to a perfect T. The reason why she is the face of the league to an extent in that way is because her play style is a lot like Stephen Curry. So that's why you see a lot of fans flock from the NBA to start giving a shit about the WNBA because her play style is so much like Curry, and that's
And there hasn't been players like her that play like Curry. Really, before her, I can't think of anybody that plays like that will shoot it from anywhere, pass from anywhere. Yeah, you haven't seen very much of that type play in the WNBA. You've seen dominant players inside and stuff like Asia before, and that's kind of par for the course. And I'm not taking she's the best player in the WNBA in my opinion.
Absolutely, Tony.
Yeah, no doubt she's the best. Now, as far as the face of the league, there's no doubt it's Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, I agree. It wasn't so much that I was arguing that. I just was curious what was it about her that made her the face, and I understand what you guys or what you're saying, Glenn.
Yeah, it's pretty much this one sentence is a perfect example. What made Stephen Curry a household name is the same reason why Caitlin Clark is not a household name.
I agree.
Good point. Good point.
I could print down the banner and put it up behind me here.
I have a question for Glenn because
go ahead,
he
Tony.
goes to a lot of WNBA games. And take your Homer hat off for a minute.
Yes.
How do you think the Fever would have done if they would have beat Vegas and went to the finals? Do you think they could have won the championship?
Are we talking pre-injuries or
I'm talking
what?
The way they were. They played with the injuries. If they would have beat Vegas in that overtime game, then went to the finals, could they have won it? Do you think they would have won it? Or do you think it was a bad matchup? Because a lot of it depends on matchup.
The series would have at least went 6.
Okay.
I think we probably would have done the same thing that we did to Vegas, split the first 2, probably split the other one, and
Why were we such a good matchup for Vegas?
I am not sure, honestly. I can't put my finger on it because of the personnel.
Yeah, because we was depleted. I think they just played hard, had nothing to lose, and the games they won because of defense.
Yeah, I think, and you got Coach White. You know how much she is a legend here in the state of Indiana. Whether with her time in the high school basketball scene to Purdue, to the W, her for a little bit of time there in the W, then her run as a coach after she retired, became a player coach, then with the Fever after Lynn Dunn retired, then because we don't have that, we don't make the playoffs if we have Coach Sides still on the staff. If we retain Coach Sides, we don't make the playoffs. We probably finish down with probably Chicago.
Yeah.
If we retain her.
Yes, the coach did a fantastic job this year. With what everything that happened and what that team does, she should be up for Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
She won't get it, but she should be up.
What was the girl's name that came out of Popovich's coaching tree that took over the Aces?
Yeah, Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond, thank you. Man, I couldn't get her name out of my mind. You got to think, man, what a great coach she is, and number 2, what a great example of Popovich, right? I mean,
absolutely. And I'm going to add to this because she was such a great coach and stuff for the W, even before that. Under Popovich tree, she had an assistant when she was with the Aces that went on to coach Golden State this year with their expansion team, and they made the fucking playoffs. So yeah, that's freaking amazing when you think about who Becky Hammond came from in the NBA, how she's done as a coach in the W, then see her coaching tree get started with Coach Nakase and Golden State. It's fucking amazing. And we're not going to see a team like that again what Golden State did. An expansion team making it the playoffs in the first year.
Hey, how many rings does the Phoenix Mercury have?
A bunch, but not this one.
Is it 3 or 4? 3. They have 3, 7, 9, and 14.
They probably should have 5.
That's what was lodged in my brain when I was thinking about this matchup tonight, was because I remember them talking about it too as well, that if the Mercury could have won the title, that they would have equaled the amount of titles that Houston has. I think Houston still holds the most, 4. somebody's going to break that at some point. But I think they
You know
thought
who
that
it's
Mercury
going to be
might
the team that won tonight. if it's
Yeah.
going to be anybody.
Well, the Aces now have what, 2 rings now, correct?
No, they got 3. They went back to back, and then Frankie's team won last year. They broke that streak, and Aces got back in and won.
Hey,
So
Jay, I have a question for you. Why did I didn't follow WNBA the last couple of years? I'll be straight up honest. Why did Houston's winning all those
Yeah.
championships? Why did their team fold?
Yeah, so from what everything I've heard so far was it all came down to economics. I think at that time, Leslie Alexander owned the team. That's when he owned the Rockets as well. And I think it just came down to economics. I think that he couldn't afford to keep the team because, like I said, the WNBA wasn't making money. He put the team up for sale initially, and nobody wanted to buy the comments and move the team. So then eventually the WNBA just dissolved the comments altogether.
Okay.
And that was it. Yeah, it was straight economics. I wanted that for a while too. And then I remember reading an article about it, and that's where I found out that it came down to the money side of it. So
yeah,
yeah,
what's
it is what it
crazy
is.
about that is one of the original teams that came into the league on its inception in 96 or 97 is the Orlando Miracle, and they lasted 3 years. Then the Mohegan Sun tribe came and bought them and moved them to Connecticut.
Yeah. And that's what happened. So Leslie Alexander put the team up for sale. Not even really just to move it, just to put it up for sale, to have another ownership group take the team over from him.
Yeah.
And they just never could find an owner.
Yeah,
Nobody wanted to buy the team.
That time period, a bunch of teams were folding. Like all the 4 teams folded. But I think that's for a different reason, on top of the economics thing, because I think Florida would be a bad. I mean, it might be better now, but Florida's just a bad market for the WNBA because you got a whole bunch of other shit to do. You got Disney and stuff. For me personally, NXT, but I'm a W fan, so that doesn't fall into my kind of thing. As far as not going to a W event because something else was going on. So
yeah, I think as the WNBA continues to grow, continues to get more viewership or whatever, I think at some point Houston will get a team again.
I'm surprised you're not in this run right now. That's with the Portland Fire coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still think throw ways off for getting a team in Houston, but I do see a team coming back at some point.
Yeah.
It would be crazy for them not to bring a team back here. We have our population is too big, and quite honestly, when the comments were here, we supported them. You couldn't go look, Glenn. I see you at Fever games, and you'd be sitting like right behind the bench, and ain't nobody around you. That's not the way it was when we went to. I went to a couple of Comets games, and every game that I ever saw on TV or was in person,
as were in seats.
Packed. It was packed.
Yeah, as were in seats. Reminds me of that line from Jim Ross in freaking Beyond the Mat, an ass in every 18 inches.
For some reason, I see you in that Bob Uecker commercial, Glenn, when he goes, "Hey, great seats, right, buddy?" And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sir, this isn't your seat. And he goes, "Must be in the front row."
Yeah, that's me now, especially with me getting rid of my seats. I'll be up there with Bob Uecker that way, all the way up top.
It's like, and he looks at the other guy when he gets to the bleachers, up in the nosebleeds. Great seats, huh, buddy? I'm like, man, sorry, I love Bob. Any Bob Uecker commercial.
Almost every man.
But anyway, all right. As we regress, so that is pretty much the conclusion of our WNBA side of life. College, we'll dive just on a couple of games. Let me pull that up real quick. The list of games, unless you already have it, Tony.
No, I don't have anything.
Oregon was one of the games that we mentioned.
That is right. Oregon, and Indiana. Tony.
Well, no, I thought you knew that.
Indiana, one of the teams we're going to talk about.
Don't tell you, Jay.
You said you was going to handle it. What you said.
Man, okay.
He did say that, Tony.
Technicalities. That's perfectly fine. But Tony,
wait. Glenn, what did he say?
He said he'd take care of it.
He said, "I'd take care of it," because you said you had it in front of you. That's what you said.
What's up, Hollow?
What's up,
Yeah,
Jonathan? Man, listen. Hey, we trying to push content as much as we
Alabama
can.
and Missouri is the other game you mentioned, Tony.
Yeah.
Alabama and Mizzou.
Yeah, let's go, man. IU. Yeah, I think IU.
Yeah.
I know everybody. A lot of people don't think they have a chance. I really do. Oregon's a good team. They did beat Penn State, but now there's questions about Penn State after the way they lost to UCLA. But I still think that's a good win, beating Penn State at Penn State. I still think that's a good win. I'm not going to take anything away from Oregon. I think we got a couple of decent wins over Iowa and Illinois. I'm not sure how good really Illinois is, but they did bounce back and beat a ranked USC team who does have a good offense. USC does have a very good offense. They ain't got no defense, but they got a very good offense. I like IU's chances. I like it better if he was home. I'm going to be honest. Oregon's a tough place to play. And so I think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to be in it. And I honestly think we got a good chance to win it. But I understand why Oregon's a 7-point favorite. They deserve to be. They were a great team last year. They've been a really good team for a long time. IU, this is their second year of being a good team. I think before that, they've never been a good team, or not this good. So I think they have a good shot.
Hey, hey Jay, highlight Hollow's comment here. The Illinois comment.
He said Illinois.
I would love to see it because I'm an IU guy, so I can't stay on Ohio State. But anyways, yeah.
Man. But Jonathan, man, I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you live in a state where lead is legal. If so, congratulations. I wish I was one of those in one of those states. But if you're smoking some of the herb, might want to put it down for a little bit because this got you saying some crazy stuff tonight.
Nah, I don't think that's going to happen.
But if that happened, if what Jonathan Holloway is saying, if Illinois did get that upset, that would upend everything.
I would love to see it though.
But
back to the IU Oregon. I'm gonna give you guys a point spread. How I think this is gonna happen, and I want to see how this ends up because most times I come out on the good end. I think it's gonna be IU 31, Oregon 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna before I get my take, Jonathan Holloway, give me your take, man. Indiana versus Oregon in Oregon. Number 7 going against number 3. Does a not Cinderella, but does the number 7 team get it? Or are you rolling with Oregon and going quack?
I want to say I saw him on this the stream with him and Hooley. I want to say I thought him say Oregon, but I can't remember. But we'll let him answer.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Indiana, they're Big Ten, correct?
Yes.
That's their conference. Okay. Oregon. And that's kind of where I'm about to lean to. I think Oregon is just going to be too tough at home. If it was in Indiana, you guys have that home crowd working in your advantage. But even as it's in Oregon, that's a tough one. Not to say Indiana can't do it. I mean, this really is a great preview for the Big Ten. Typically, we're talking SEC. We're talking anything the top 10 rankings. That's generally we're normally talking SEC. But the fact that we're looking at a Big Ten matchup, and the fact that the Big Ten is doing so well with Ohio and what they're doing and whatnot, you gotta almost. I mean, this is great for the Big Ten. Honestly, it's great.
As much as the SEC gets hyped up, the Big Ten is right up there with them.
Oh yeah, now they are. The one thing I thought was interesting, I watched McAfee today, and they had ex-coach Saban on the air, and they were talking, and they talked about this game specifically, and he said the big key to this game is going to be how IU handles Oregon's crowd. He says because they like to use different snap counts, they like to change plays at the line, they do a lot of that stuff, and he said that he wonders how they're going to handle the crowd noise. He said that's not always easy to do. And IU ain't faced a lot of that. I mean, in the Big Ten, not to this level. So he thinks that's going to be a big key to the game, how they handle being able to snap the ball and change plays at the line of scrimmage.
Noah Cignetti, he's probably has had practices all week, where at least 50% of practice has been that specific game plan itself.
Could be.
Then the rest of it is branches of that, you know.
I don't know if there's a way that Indiana wins this game. I mean, you know, like I said, statistically on paper, you guys are dead even, damn near. But you know, Oregon's been through a little bit more of a little bit tougher teams than you guys have had to face so far. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that you can't go in there and beat them. I just think, given the opponents that they faced, and given the fact that it's at home, Jonathan Holloway says that, and I do agree. I hate to say it, but I agree that Oregon kind of is a little bit more of the elite team, and Indiana is a good team. But sometimes you can flip that narrative, and if you can flip that narrative and Indiana beats Oregon, man, what a day!
I'm really interested in this game because IU lost to Notre Dame last year, lost to Ohio State, and they lost because they couldn't hang on at the line of scrimmage against bigger teams. Cinetti said that he found that out, and that was the big emphasis coming into this season, to get bigger on the front lines, to be more physical, to be able to play with these teams. And he believes that they are. This game, I think, is going to show us, win or lose. If they go out there and they lose by 3 points, 7 points, then you got a chance to play in the playoffs.
You know where the benchmark is.
If you go out there and win, but now if you go out there and lose by 21 points, or you get just knocked off the ball, then you know that you're not where you need to be. So I think this game is going to tell us, win or lose, going to tell us if IU is up to par to be able to play, to really have a chance for a championship, not just make the playoffs, a really contender for a championship. Last year they was good enough to make the playoffs, but they found out very quickly that they wasn't strong enough to be a real contender.
I don't know if you noticed this, Tony. I don't know how close that you follow, like, the IU Hoosier Ticket Network or their website or anything of that nature as far as ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
IU's home games have been sold out for the rest of the season.
I bet.
Yeah, and resale is crazy. even for teams like against Wisconsin, their last home game on the 14th, crazy.
Let me ask you guys another question. So the only other game really that's worth really kind of talking about, would be the Texas game. And the only reason that game is worth talking about is because
nobody gives a shit about Texas.
Hey, hold on. Hey, the only reason we're talking about it is for two reasons. Because really, if you look at all the other games, it's ranked versus unranked, right? So at that point, really, we're talking upsets. So the only reason I'm talking about this game is because of the fact that, number one, it's the Red River Shootout, which Texas and Oklahoma always play super hard. And the second one is because Oklahoma is still in the top 10, ranked in the top 10. Yes. And if Texas was to be able to beat Oklahoma, that could possibly put them back in the rankings.
Oh, it would put them back in the rankings.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what percentage of chances would you give Texas to beat Oklahoma?
Where's the game at?
I believe it's in Norman, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would honestly say if it would have been in Texas.
Correction. It's in. I apologize. Texas. It's in Austin.
I'll be honest with you, and you guys might think I'm being too gracious to Texas. I think it's at least 50-50. I think they can play with Oklahoma. I really do. Now, if it would have been in Oklahoma, I would have said 40% chance, because I would have given Oklahoma that man. But since it's in Texas, I'd say 50. I still think Texas is going to have a breakout game. Unless that defense. I mean, defense and offensive lines got to play better. I mean, they did not play well. The offensive line and defense did not play well that last game.
I mean, they lost to Florida, and I foresaw that shit like to a T. So I was like, hey.
Yeah, you predicted.
Yeah. One thing I had to ask was where's that game at? I was like, man, they're gonna go to the swamp and get swamped.
Yeah, and for me, this is the game. If Archie is going to have
he should be benched.
Archie has to win this game against Oklahoma, not because he can get it back into the rankings, but because this is like the game in Texas. This is the game. Oklahoma, Texas, Red River Shootout. That's the trophy, right? And everybody, and they fight hard for that damn trophy. So I really expect it to be a good game. I'm really kind of curious to see how, how Arch Manning handled it. Because, again, he had a really big game against Ohio. That was probably the biggest game of his life. Well, this game here is about to be the second biggest game of his life because the Red River Shootout is just about as pressure-filled as what that Ohio game was.
I don't know if it still is, but growing up, that was as big as
That was
game.
elite.
I mean, that game was as big as game as any game. I mean, that Red River Shootout.
Barry
But,
Switzer, baby.
but Glenn, I disagree with you. I don't think that he should be benched. That last game wasn't Archie's fault they lost. That defense got ran on all over the place, and that offensive line did not protect him very well at all. So I don't think that loss was on him to Florida. I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if Jay
That
agrees with
Gator
me or not.
defense did get to the line pretty quickly, though. So, yeah, I see what you're coming from, Tony.
Truthfully speaking, Archie could play better. And what I
Yeah,
mean by
he
play
could
better
play
is
better.
it's not physically what he could do better. It's what he could do on the intellectual side in terms of giving your team confidence, getting your team to buy into you, getting your team to know that you're the leader and you're fearless and you can go out there and you're going to do it and you're going to do it well and being passionate. I mean, it's all about – it goes again to culture, right? If Texas has that right culture, you're going to manifest that. Because if you look at his numbers are not bad.
No.
He's almost at about 1,200 yards passing. He's got 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's not a
Seattle base hit.
But
Seattle
honestly,
got one on.
yeah, I think I know you said culture, and you're putting that on him, and I'm not saying he is the quarterback, so I understand. But to me, I think a lot of that's got to go to the coach.
Oh no! When I say culture, I'm not talking about Arch. I'm talking about Sarkisian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying
He's talking like Miami Heat shit.
and then it's carried through by Arch.
Okay.
Sarkisian sets the culture about what the standards, what they expect, and he is also in charge of the development side of Arch. Look, Archie has had 2 to 3 years worth of development from Sarkisian. Actually, he's had his whole life to develop. You can't tell me that Peyton and Eli and Grandpa Archie aren't sitting there, schooling up Archie Manning. I mean, he's had this his whole life.
Yeah.
He knows what it looks like. So I think it's just Archie. The team has to buy into Archie. I mean, if you look at I think Tony, you hit it pretty good. The defense has really let Texas down big time and put Archie in some situations where he probably felt like he had to go out and do something because maybe the defense wasn't going to do it for him. And let's not act like his running game and wide receivers are the best that's ever been there. They've had much better wide receiving talent, and even the O-line talent has not been all that great. So there are some things that Texas program that needs to fall on them, and not so much Archie. Because like I said, Archie's numbers aren't bad. I'll take a quarterback that's giving me 1,200, 11-5. I can, we can do something with that. But I think Archie, the one step I think Archie has to take, and Arch has to take, it is very mandatory, is he has got to develop confidence and swagger in himself. So that way, and it has to permeate throughout the rest of that organization. And the only way that's able to be done is it starts with Sarkisian and his quarterback coaches putting that confidence and that swag into Archie. And then again, the developmental side, right? So there's a lot of things that Texas has to do. I honestly, just given how Oklahoma's playing, how Texas is playing right now, I think Oklahoma would probably take it, although I'd like to see Texas take it. I just think the momentum right now is all on Oklahoma, barring injury, of course.
I expect Texas to step up at some point now. I could be wrong. Maybe my belief is too strong in them, but I expected more from this. I wasn't surprised that they lost to Ohio State. I wasn't a shock. I was at Ohio State, but losing to Florida was a surprise a little bit. And
we're going to extras.
It's time to step up.
And I think that's right, because like the homer in me wants Texas to win and would say Texas is going to win this, whatever. But the podcast, when you look at it objectively, like you said, the Florida game was really my thing. If we can't even beat Florida, who's unranked, what are we going to do against Oklahoma?
But look at Oklahoma and Texas. Who's played the tougher schedule? Oklahoma beat Michigan.
Yeah,
that's really all they played. So I mean, I'm not saying Oklahoma's not good, but they haven't been super tested yet.
Well, I'll tell you, I think both programs are about to be tested come tomorrow. So we're gonna find out exactly what this Texas team is made of. I think we're gonna find out exactly what Archie is made out of. Come tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a big.
We gonna find out
big
if he's made out a house of sheets or a house of cards or whatever. We're gonna find out if he can hold up.
I think the term was house of bricks or cards. I don't know what a sheet. That's pretty thin.
Sheet.
It's like paper.
I'm thinking of things that are like tough or
Glenn, we
yeah.
all know, man. We
I
love
thought, was he going to the Ku Klux Klan house or what? The
no,
Hey,
no, Tony.
I wasn't sure
Let's not do that,
exactly.
Tony.
When he said sheets, I started getting nervous. I was
Yeah.
like,
we are in
okay,
Indiana.
where you going, Glenn?
Hey, we have a town here in Indiana that's kind of home of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
And the weird part about that is filled with Mexicans.
Damn. I knew the first part, but not the second part. But
So
yeah, that's beside the fact.
Elwood, Indiana, was known at one point big for the Ku Klux Klan, but it was filled with Mexicans.
I feel
Crazy.
like I had the need to say that we here at ESEN do not support the KKK in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. The fuck
I'm
not.
Mexican. No, I don't support no KKK. I don't know about Glenn. I'm not sure about that.
Nah, yeah, I think you know Tony. You know me. You've known me for too long.
It's
All
off
right,
the
we're
rails.
gonna-
guys.
we're gonna
All
take
the
a
time.
topic.
It's time to get out of here, guys. We're off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go Colts. Let's go Pacers. Their
Yeah.
first home preseason game is tomorrow.
Hey, real quick. We do got to do one more housekeeping topic, and then we will be out of here. Real quick, I meant to say this earlier. Cubs Brewers play tomorrow, game
Yes.
1.
No, game 5.
Oh, excuse me, not Cubs Brewers. What am I saying?
Cubs Brewers play tomorrow, game 5.
Who plays
Yeah, he's
tomorrow?
right.
What game am I thinking of? What game am I thinking of tomorrow?
You're just thinking of the right one.
Cubs and Brewers, game 5 tomorrow, 8:00.
Nah, it's gonna be Seattle and Detroit game 6.
No, ain't no game 6. Tomorrow, Cubs and Brewers, 8:00, game 5. Winner takes all, moves on to the National League, because we're getting ready to find out who moves on to play Toronto here in the American League. So tomorrow we find out National League who goes on and plays the Dodgers.
Don't
Now,
worry,
Sunday-
don't worry, Glenn. I know where you live, and you don't exactly run very fast, so it's okay. I got you. Dude. Yeah, no.
I'll just hop in the lift.
Brewers, who do y'all have rapid? I'm gonna say Brewers on this. Who do y'all have?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be Go Cubs Go. They're gonna be playing that song tomorrow night.
I hope not. I hate the Cubs. I'm going with the Brewers at home.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Brewers too. I'm just gonna
Oh,
give
good
you
one.
quickly. Let me see here. Let me do one quick thing here, and then we'll get out. I'm just gonna let me see who's on the mound tomorrow, so everybody's tracking. It is going to be Bush it's gonna be Bush for no, excuse me, wrong.
It's gonna be Bush Milwaukee's best.
I don't know why I said, but I'm sorry. I was going to the first. I don't see it on here where they. It doesn't look like
Did you catch that, Tony?
we're not giving the pictures on here when I'm looking. Are you guys?
Did you catch a comment, Tony? I said Bush. Why is it gonna be Bush from Milwaukee's best?
Yeah.
You stupid. It's not. When I was looking on the thing, it's not saying who's going to get the nod for that game. Probably because I guess they haven't said it yet. So I would imagine I would imagine maybe Boyd, maybe for the Cubs.
Did he just pitch?
He may have actually. Damn.
Probably forget if this game probably
He
game
did.
1.
You're right. He did.
Yeah, Peralta just pitched, and I think Ward just pitched.
Well, it won't be Horton because Horton's out, and so maybe the Imanga, Shota
Maybe.
Imanga. He's the next guy up. So that's probably either I imagine the Cubs are rolling with. But anywho, so Glenn, you got the Cubs. Tony, you got the Brewers. I got the Brewers. Guys, it should be a great weekend of sports. Honestly, man, between baseball playoffs and college football, and if you watch hockey, I'm sure there'll be some hockey. You're not going to be short of any of that. And of course, Sunday's another crazy one.
No, not only that, 8 a.m. tomorrow, live from
Jesus Christ.
Perth, Australia. WWE Crown Jewel pay-per-view. 8:00 in the morning.
I hate those start times because I'm not a morning person. But
I have a question before we get out of here. This is what we're going to end on. We're going to end it on this because I meant to put it in the group chat and I didn't. But I'm going to ask you guys a question, and you tell me who this is. There is a wrestler who transcended borders, broke barriers, and earned his place. No, that's not the one. I apologize. Okay, there we go. That's the one. Okay, what wrestler in WWE was the first Triple Crown champion?
Shawn Michaels,
No.
Triple Crown.
I'm curious if Tony knows this.
Triple Crown.
Cody Rhodes.
No.
Rey
I
Mysterio.
will give you one hint. He is Hispanic.
Rey Mysterio.
No.
Eddie Guerrero.
Dominic Mysterio.
What, not Eddie Guerrero.
Dominic
And the
Mysterio.
thing about it is, at that time, it wasn't even WWE. It was called WWF. WWF or some shit.
Pedro Morales.
Bingo.
Once you
There
said it
you
was
go,
WWE, because he won the Intercontinental Championship, the World Title, and Tag Team Championship.
Damn.
See? Hey.
Good job, Tony.
Hey, no, seriously, that is good. Because I really thought, I was like, yeah, I know these guys are like the gurus of wrestling. I wonder if I can stump them. And Tony,
Oh,
I
you
wonder if
stumped me with
Gonzo-
that
I
one
wonder
because
if
I was
Gonzo
taking
would've
this
got that.
strictly like WWE title, Intercontinental title, then the tag title. That
See,
would have been Shawn Michaels.
Pedro was a little bit before my time. Not really, but I mean, because he was big in the 70s. I was born in
You caught him
73.
at the end of his run.
Yeah, it was the 80s, 1980. He was still on TV some, but he was at the end. He was
Job guy.
almost a jobber at that point in the 80s, almost. But in the 70s, he was a big deal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember one of Honky Tonk Man's freaking shoot videos. He was talking about Pedro being at the end of this run. It's annoying the fuck out of him and shit. Hey, Jimmy or something, it's in that voice.
See, Big Glenn? So you learned a little bit of wrestling history tonight. There you go.
Absolutely. That's where
That's what we do here at ESPN. We ask questions that maybe nobody else would know except Tony.
Okay.
in my Jim Irsay voice, that's some rare air, man.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. I got something.
Yes, let's go.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on Gonzo Sports Room's YouTube and ESPN's YouTube page as well. I'm your boy, Jay McLovin, Big Glenn, and Big Tony Gonzalez.
Yankees lose.